Hi friends, Rebecca here. I'm owner of Holy Rustic DIY Crafts, and I really wanted to be live with you all today for the Star Stripes and Sunshine event, but for some reason my internet is completely down. So I'm going to do a pre-recorded version for you because I know a lot of you have these kits and I cannot wait to see what yours look like when you're done. So this is a fun project because you can do any holiday on this. So you don't just have to do patriotic. If you would rather do something for summer or, you know, something for the winter holidays, you could easily do that as well. So basically you're just gonna take a scrapbook page, and I've already cut a piece for today, but I wanna show you how to do this. So if you lay your paper on top, so the side I want to see on the paper and the side I want shown on the wood, I'm going to lay it on top, and then I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to trace it, okay? That way, when we flip it back, we'll have both sides that we want to see, and everything will be in the right direction. So I'm going to start here in this corner with a pen or pencil and trace all the way around here. Now we don't need this little puff ball because we have a piece to cover that. So I'm going to skip over to this side and trace around here to the corner. So just like that. Now I'm also going to take this pen, and right inside this top section, I'm going to trace right along the bottom like that. And then once I lift that up, I'm just going to connect these two areas and this little puffball area here so I know where to cut. But basically, once we flip this over, if these were two different sides, we would have the side that we wanted showing on the side of the wood that we're going to be seeing. So that's why it's good to flip it over. Now what I'm going to do is go ahead and cut out this shape. And it doesn't have to be super perfect, right? If it's a little long on the edges, we are going to sand that down when we're done. So we're just going to cut that out where we traced it. Just like this. So let me know if you're doing this kit, and let me know if you're sticking with the patriotic or if you are going with your own scrapbook paper and a different holiday. So let me know what you decided to do. We are still shipping these kits, just so you know. Right now we're sending them with we're sending them with 4th of July paper. So you can order just the gnome and use your own supplies, or you can order the full kit with the patriotic paper, and we'll probably change that out after 4th of July. So we'll go to the next holiday and probably make a new gnome with a different paper, just so you can see, you know, how these can be used for all the holidays. So that's how you get your piece of paper. Okay, so this fits right along there now. And this is the one that I had cut out already, and I like it because it has the ivory color, and that matches our macrame cord. If you had bright white, you could do something like this, but I like to, you know, kind of flow, make everything flow and match. So I think I am going to use this one since I have the ivory macrame cord. So if you got the full kit, you do have some Mod Podge in a little paint pod like this, and it should be labeled with an M so you know. And I'm just going to take it and spread the Mod Podge over the wood. And you don't need it real thick, so just do it, you know, kind of thin. Ooh, excuse me. So even though I am pre-recording this, I will answer any questions in the comments, so let me know if you need help or don't understand anything that I'm doing, and I will gladly answer that for you. I got a frog in my throat, y'all. All right, so we just want that brushed on lightly all over the wood. Now we're going to take it and place it on top and press it down really good. So I use it kind of like glue. So I'm going to put a little bit more under here because I didn't get enough. So just go ahead and push that down. Now I'm going to kind of push around the edges and bend that area around the edges down. And then what we're going to do is go back over the edges with Mod Podge. So I'm going to take my brush and right around the edges, I'm going to go right over them just like this, and then kind of brush down. And you can go over the whole top of this if you would like. It won't hurt anything. In fact, I usually do. So I'm going to brush down to make those edges lay flat. I'm going to brush and smooth that out. So I'm calling this the Macrame Gnome, and obviously it's not super complicated macrame. We just are using macrame rope for his beard today. But has anyone ever done macrame? Are you a macrame fan? Oh, there's so many knots involved, right? I've tried it. I've never completely mastered the art of macrame, but I think it is so cool, and I love how it's coming back. And my kids love all things macrame. They have like macrame planners, macrame shelves, and I think it's cool that you know, this old craft has kind of come back into the new generation. All right, I'm just making sure I get all the edges and lay that down, get it real good around the edges here, and then we'll sand down any excess paper. Okay, so we want that to dry really well. And then we'll sand it. Now, we have had some problems with these breaking in two pieces. And I realized that I should have made this a little thicker. It can be fixed. Just take some, you know, wood glue or super glue and glue there. And if you want to do it, even if it hasn't broken, just to give it a little more hold, you can. So I do apologize for that. It is fixable. I've dealt with it too. So but what I'm going to do next is just paint. So while that's drying, I'm going to take some blue paint and paint this area, because this is what is going to be behind the beard. So let's just do a quick coat here of the blue, and you really will not see much of this because it's going to be covered by the macrame cord. So just a quick coat here. And of course you could do this any color you wanted. So we have sent a dark blue, but you could do red or white. And white won't blend with this cord since it's ivory. So any color you have on hand and want to do. Okay, and then I'm going to take a smaller brush and I'm going to use the black for the shoes. So just a little bit, it doesn't take much. And I'm just going to, and I think I have a really dark gray here. So just outline that real quick. And these lines are etched into the wood, so you don't have to guess where it goes. Oops, I dipped in the blue. Just wipe that off. I'm gonna get a flat brush for the bigger part. Okay, so we definitely want this to dry before we put that light colored cord over top. This really looks like it's gonna need a second coat, but again, I'm not worried about that because that is going to be covered. And you don't have to paint this because we're going to put this little piece on top here. And actually, I am going to paint that blue. So let's go ahead and give this a little blue coat as well. You can paint it whatever you want. But I want it to match his clothing here. And see, that's going to lay right on top of that when it dries. The only other thing we need to paint is his nose, and you have a peachy color for that. And I'll probably put another coat on it. That's a really light peach. It's almost an ivory too. Okay, so I'll give that another coat. Now this doesn't take long to dry, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try not to break this. This is where it's probably important to be careful. So I'm gonna take this little sander, comes from Walmart. They have these in kits with different size grit strips, and this is my favorite one to use. And I'm just gonna go around, and I'm going down with my sander. So you don't wanna go up because that's gonna rip your paper. Yep, see, rip that, that's okay. It's easier in 2 pieces. If you have an issue with it, go ahead and contact us. If you can't, you know, glue it back together. But it's not a big deal. It can be attached back. And honestly, it's a lot easier to do the paper and then the cord on 2 pieces than it is one. All right, so I'm going to take this now and do that all the way around. So that gives you that smooth edge. It just looks a lot nicer. See, while this is in one piece, you really cannot get to this area. So that's what I mean. It's easier in 2 pieces. So if you want to go ahead and do that, then you can always just glue that back together when you're done. Any wood glue, super glue, hot glue, any of that will hold it. So you want to get a little aggressive with it to get, you know, to tear all those pieces off, but you want to make sure you're going down and not up. It's a little tricky through here because you don't have as much room. So sometimes what I do when I'm using this is I'll take that little strip of paper off and just use the paper, since the whole sander won't fit in there. So much better. Looks so much better. So this is one little area I don't think I can get. We're actually remodeling a whole house now, so I've become very familiar with sanders and tools and things like that. So, okay, so it's good. See, it's a lot easier when it's separated, but that's probably what we should have done to begin with, was just made it 2 different pieces. Okay, so we're done with the hat, and what we want to do now is I'll go ahead and glue this on. So you get E6000 to go with it. Little goes a long way. So I'm just going to put a little bit right in the middle of that, and then I'm going to glue over top of it like that. Now, I'm not going to do the nose until I'm done with the cord. So your cord came in pieces like this. We're going to go ahead and put them on as is, and then we'll trim them up if needed. Hold on, let me play around with this real quick. I can't even remember if it goes over or under. you know, yeah. Nope, that's backwards. Okay. I think that's the same thing I just did. All right, so you want to come in from underneath, fold it in half and come in from underneath. So go in through the bottom. No, that's backwards. Sorry. We're gonna go in through the top. So you're gonna go in like this. And you wanna bring your loose pieces over top. And then you're going to pull them through the loop just like that, okay? So just like that. And see how long they are. They're gonna need to be trimmed, but right now we just wanna get them on. So I'm gonna continue that process, fold them in half. You're gonna wanna come in from the top, okay? And then flip the loose pieces over and pull them through that loop just like that, and then pull them tight. And then you can kind of slide, you know, you can slide them to fit so you can get more beard on there. So fold it in half, come in underneath, pull up that loop, and then thread the loose pieces through like that. So you'll probably be able to get about 8 to 10 on there, just depending on how tight you have that fitted across this little area here. So just like that. And kind of get in the zone here. So you know my thing is string art, and to me this is just like a different version of string art. I think that's why I really like it, because it has my two favorite things. You know, some kind of string and wood. So when you can give me both of those, I'm a happy girl, and I really get in the zone. So we'll do this. I'm gonna push them pretty tight. So obviously the tighter you have them together, the more full your beard will look here at the bottom. And you should have enough or a little extra to be able to go all the way across that top. And we tried to send a few extra with the kits. I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna put 9. I have 9 on here. So what we'll want to do now is unravel these. You could leave it like that, but to me it just looks, it doesn't look full enough. So I decided to unravel this cord, and it's not hard. You know, this is righty tighty lefty loosey, right? I've been saying that so much lately, while we do a remodel, and I realized that that might be the most important thing I ever learned in school is righty tighty lefty loosey. So you'll just want to twist it to the left and then get them apart, right? So just like this. I wouldn't trim anything until you have an idea of what it looks like once you get it unraveled. We're gonna get this apart, and this will take a little bit of time to do. I'm gonna go ahead and, no, I'm gonna wait on that. Okay, so we're gonna continue to do this. So we have 9 of them. I'm 2 down, 7 to go. So which projects have y'all done today? I know we have so many creative people in this group and some of the cutest projects. So I just love seeing the participation and everybody's finished project when the event is over. Kind of like braiding hair, right? You could always put it in little braids, like little bitty braids. When I was a teenager, we went to the Bahamas, and if you've ever been, we went to, I don't remember where it was. It was like across from the Atlantis Hotel, on a cruise, and we went to this island, and there was a bunch of people, you know, like selling stuff when you get off the boat, and there were some ladies there that were doing hair braiding. Basically like cornrows, I guess, like right up against your scalp. And, you know, I was 17. I thought that would be cool. So I asked her how much it would cost me to do. And she told me, and she did half of my head in these cornrows all the way up to my scalp, and then told me that it would be double that to do the rest. So the price that she had given me apparently was for only half my hair, which she decided not to tell me until she already had half of it done. And it was some crazy number to do my whole head. So I went back to the boat immediately. I did not pay. I didn't want to pay that money. Went back to the boat and took out all of those cornrows as soon as they were done, because I only had half my head done and looked ridiculous. And I think it was like $60 she was charging me. And then she told me it would be $120. And I was like, I don't have $120. I'm not paying $120. So I had to go rip all those cornrows out of my head. I will never forget that. So my family still tease me to this day about getting cornrows or braids in my hair. I looked ridiculous, I'm telling you, with half my head done. That was a little sneaky though, what she did, right? Gave me a price and then waited till halfway done and told me it would be double that. But the Bahamas is beautiful. I have been back. I did not get braids the second time. And I could definitely go for a warm ocean right now. Almost done. So we're down to the last 4. On a lot of our gnomes, we use like the faux fur, the faux white fur, and cut that out of it. But this looked way more fun. So something different. Down to the last 2. Okay, so now that we have this completely unraveled, we can go through and cut it to the length and the shape that we want. So you're kind of a hairdresser today, right? It's like practice for hair cutting. Okay, so we have this big beard. And, you know, if you like it hanging down that far, just, you know, leave it if you want. This is all personal preference here. So what I'm going to do is trim it up a little bit. You can probably use any scissors. I grabbed some fabric scissors for this, and I'm going to, you know, you want to cut less, and you can always cut more later. You cannot add more. So you want to start small. So I like to do kind of an angle here, just right across the bottom. You want it to kind of come to a point, in a sense, in the middle of the beard. Okay, so I want the shoes to show, so this is not going to be enough, but I just did a little so I can always take off more. So I'm going to do a big cut right here, right above his shoes, because I know that this is way longer than I want it to be, right? Okay, so it's uneven, and that's okay, because I've left myself plenty of room to play around with length here. Okay, so we're getting there. I still can't see his shoes very well, so I am going to cut off some more. So I'm going to start about right here. Go like that. And it's just easier for me to hold it upright, so I'm trying to leave it down. So again, it depends on, you know, this is personal preference as far as length, thickness, shape. I just like it to be a little bit angled. So shoes are starting to peek out here. So I think I'm going behind and just cutting that way. Now I'm going to flip it because I'm getting down to, you know, the boots. I don't want to cut too much off. So I'm basically just doing a trim at this point. All right, so that's probably good. If you wanted to do a little bit more, you could, even if you just wanted to trim up the sides a little bit. Let me see. I think this is why I couldn't cut hair, because I could pick and pick and pick, right? Let's leave that to the professionals. I'll just stick with macrame cord. All right, I think we're about good here. All right, so his shoes are showing now. I think I'm gonna leave it like that. I have a little piece that's long. Let me trim that up. Okay, so we're gonna leave it like that. I'm gonna move all of this over. Now, if you had hot glue or wood glue, you can come in and glue this together. You can do it on the back if you want. Probably hot glue is going to be your best bet as far as a hold. Let me see if mine is plugged in here. So while that's heating up, let's see, let me find my glue sticks. All right, while that's heating up, I'm going to go ahead and so you could use a liner brush for this. I'm going to just take a small or a fine point paint pen. And I'm going to do some, just fancy it up a little bit. So I'm just going to do like an outline here. And Posca is my favorite. I use the Posca fine point pen for everything. I'm going to take it and do little squiggly lines and then 2 dots all the way around. So this is the outline that I'm going to use. You could do just straight lines, just following the design around. Just come on around here. The nose is going to be here, so I'm going to skip that little area. Just squiggle, dot, dot, squiggle, dot, dot. Okay, now if your shoes are showing or if your body's showing, you could do the same thing, kind of just a quick outline here. You can do one here. So up to you. If you can't see it, it doesn't matter too much. Just outlining that. You can do squigglies or straight. So this is pretty well covered up on mine. So it'll take a while to get that glue gun done, but I would just put a little bit of glue on the back of these 2 areas to hold it together. And then I'll take the E6000 and I'm just gonna put this nose on. It just kind of fits right into that curve there. So you want to touch the top of your macrame cord and then center it. And then I'll just put another little accent here. And we have our patriotic gnome. So what do you think? Longer beard, shorter beard? What do you think we should have done? And let me know what holiday you think this would be cute in. Again, I'm so sorry that I couldn't be live with you today. I was really looking forward to it. But you know, things happen and it is what it is, and we are going to craft and have fun anyway. So make sure to share your creation. I can't wait to see it. And otherwise, y'all enjoy the rest of the presenters today and have fun. Bye.